Everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Laura with Diamond Painting and Stitching with Laura, and it's stitching time is what we're going to do today. I'm working on the beaded cross stitch, and yeah, so we'll see how this goes today. Yesterday I was having issues trying to thread this stupid needle, and I don't know, it was just a little bit of a nightmare. These are nice little pearl beads. They've got like a satin finish on them. I don't know if you can see that or not. But they're really pretty. They don't have that rhinestone look. But I thought, well, I'll do this for a while today. Oh, I better unplug my light pad or it'll be driving us both insane. I don't feel like having a migraine today. I've been busy this morning. I decided, well, yesterday I did a drill with, well, not drill, but a whip and gab. And I was talking about canning. So I got it in my brain that that's what I was going to do. So first thing this morning, I made 9 half pints of jalapeno pepper jelly. And that's always kind of a nightmare. It takes longer to cut up the silly vegetables than it does to... Well, goodness gracious, can we please get in the hole? More time to cut up all the vegetables and stuff. I used, 1 1/4 of a green pepper. And I used 2 whole red peppers. And they were pretty good size. And I chopped all them up, and then I used my food processor because I'm not all about chopping everything finely by hand. My hands aren't that good anymore. And my daughter bought me a, what do you call it? A Quiet Molly, a food processor back in 2016, and I use it quite regularly. I use it to make salsa and all that kind of stuff. And then I got 2 garlic cloves. I mean, not cloves. I don't know what you call them. Blooms? No, maybe not. That's not the word. You know how it comes. Garlic comes. The big, yeah. I had 2 about that size, and I cut up the biggest pieces of them. I didn't cut them up. I just peeled them, and so I ended up with about a cup of garlic that I'd processed, and I took about 10 jalapenos that were about I'd say, what is that, maybe the size round of a quarter, maybe a tad bit bigger, and they were probably yay long, and chopped them all up, and I run them through the food processor until they're, they look, I want to say grated, but I don't know if that's, you know what it looks like in the food processor. If you have a food processor, you'll know what that means. So it was real finely chopped. And then I add a cup of white vinegar, 1.5 cups of white vinegar to that mix, and 6 cups of sugar. And I cook that for about, I bring it to a boil and cook it for about 6 minutes. And when that's done, and I also put like, a teaspoon of, I actually had some whipped real butter. So I put about a teaspoon of whipped real butter in that. And it keeps it from frothing up. I hate when it does that, because then you got to skim it off, and I always feel like I'm losing something. But then you cook that for 6 minutes, like I said. And at the end of the 6 minutes, while it's still on the heat, I don't take it off the heat. I put in, since I had so many vegetables, I used 2 boxes of MCP. I don't like Serta. I never did. I never got used to using it. And I cook it for about another minute or so at a hard boil. And then I can it into hot jars and seal it. Hang on just a minute here. So as you can see, they're all sitting there. It made 9 jars. And you know, as I'm doing them, I have them all sitting up. But after I'm done and I semi-cleaned up my mess, so they sat there probably a good 5 minutes. I didn't wash my dishes or anything, so about 5 minutes. And then I turn them upside down. And if all the peppers decide that they're going to be at the top or the bottom, then you just turn them upside down and kind of do that with them. Like, I do that when it's like been there 2 hours or so, and that way they'll kind of gel. And I just leave these like this for probably a couple hours or so, you know, until they feel warm to the touch. These still feel hot. I mean, if you touch this, they would be pretty hot. You don't want them touching. So you just kind of set them there so that they're own separate entity. All right, let me take you back. Okay, we're back. But, yeah. So I decided I'd do that. I had to go to 2 different stores to get the jars. Whoops, lost my bead. Come back here, you little frigger. 2 boxes of jars because I didn't know if I'd get back to it or not. I want to do some strawberry jam as well. But that probably won't be until the strawberries are really good and sweet. I usually get Driscoll strawberries. So that'll be fun. I'll keep you informed as to whether or not I do any more. But I have taken, what do you call it? Canned apple. I had a whole, we belonged to this thing and it was called Harvesters a long time ago. And they would give you fruits and vegetables and stuff. It was back when we were on food stamp type situation. But this, you know, you'd go there and you'd get so many cans of fruit and vegetables, and sometimes they had meat stuff and, you know, like canned stew and all that. But I ended up with probably 12, 14 cans of, what do you call them? Apricots. So I took the apricots out and of their jar and crushed them up and cut them up and mashed them and everything, and I made apricot jam. I love apricot jam. And because otherwise they weren't going to get eaten. I can only eat so many whole apricots because my boyfriend at the time didn't like apricots. Or he liked them, you know, kind of like me. And like, I don't want all that all the time, you know. So we had a lot of them. But I've taken them straight out of the can, and I just kind of give them a rinse, you know, to get that syrup off of them, because usually they come in heavy syrup. And just made jam out of them, just like you would normally make jam. I've never tried that with fresh apricots, so I don't quite know how that would work. I missed one back there, dang it. Yeah, so we might be doing some canning. I was going to put it all on film, you know, as I was doing it, but I was like, okay, and I'm talking in my head, saying, well, I do this and I do that. And I'm like, well, go get the camera. No, well, you know, and I just thought it'd be so boring to watch me sit there and cut up all these vegetables and everything. So when I make green chili, I will definitely make a video, but because it's kind of fast and easy and concise. But yeah. And no, we don't can that. We freeze that. And I have not had a problem, but I eat green chili a lot. So when I make it, I make at least a 12-quart. I got a great big stock pot full of it, and I give some to my son and some to my son-in-law. They like it as well. And it makes probably, God, 6 or 8, what do you call it, quart baggies of green chili, and then I just take it out when it's frozen and defrost it and put it in a pan, and if it needs a little more thickening in it, I do that, but usually it heats up really well, and so it's not in there, you know, a great amount of time in the freezer, maybe less than 6 months, you know, depending. Now, if it's wintertime, I'm using it because I like it on enchiladas, and I like to take some green chili and drop egg in it like you were going to fry the egg. You know, you just crack it into the pan of the bubbling, not pan, skillet. I put the green chili in the skillet and then drop the eggs into it, and then I kind of use the green chili to baste everything, baste the eggs with until they're done, the way I like them, and then I scoop them out and put them on hot tortillas. And sometimes I'll get real festive and put refried beans and make it like huevos rancheros. And but that's the way I like my eggs done. And sometimes I'll make an omelet and just smother it in green chili. Like I'll make the ham and green pepper, green pepper and green onion omelet, which is a Denver omelet, and smother it in green chili and cheese. I like it done that way too. And yeah, I like to cook. It's just finding the time and the energy to cook. And sometimes it's a money factor, but not too often. But I tend to make way too much stuff. But that way, when I put them in the quart Ziploc freezer baggies, it's not very much. Like, I can have it like that with the eggs once, and then I can make like a burrito or whatever for dinner and use it all up in one fell swoop, you know, so it doesn't go bad. But yeah, I like to cook Mexican food. I do better at Mexican food than I do at Chinese, but I guess it's just because I've been doing it for so long. And I did it on a commercial level working for a restaurant, and we would make green chili in stock pots, and we'd make 2 of those every 2 days for the restaurant because people loved it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they put green chili on everything. And it was really good green chili. So, but I make it when they have the pork roasts. I don't know if it's a picnic shoulder or whatever the hell it's called. They usually have them, and they're like $5 for this. So I cook up 2 of them because I have the big 10-quart crock pot. And, you know, I cook it in there overnight. What is going on here, kids? Seriously? How did that happen? I don't even want to know, kids. Could you just... Thank you. I don't know what happened. I cook it in the crock pot with... I'll put water. And those roasts are probably... I don't know, about 6-8 inches across, maybe. And they're probably 3-4 inches thick. and I'll just cook them up with onions, red and green peppers, and what do you call it? I'll put a couple cans of green chilies in at that time to cook it with. And every once in a while, I will put some pepper flakes in there, the red pepper flakes, and a little garlic salt, seasoned salt, and salt and pepper. You know, not too much, just to kind of season it. And then I'll cook it, slow cook it. I'll on low for like 14, 16 hours, because I'll start it at night before I go to bed, because I don't forget in the morning. Again, I don't want to have to cut vegetables before I have to go to work, because I can never seem to find enough time to do that. So I just put it on low and let it cook all night, and then I'll go to work, and it'll cook while I'm at work for 8 hours, and then I come home, and if there's any bones in it, I take the bones out, and all that, and just put it in a big old pot. And I kind of shred it too. I like it shredded instead of, you know, cut into little pieces. And if they're long, of course I'm going to cut them down like into thirds or whatever. But and then I add about 6 to 8 cans of green chilies to this whole mess, and the pork, and I have water with, you know, from cooking it, of course, and all the peppers that are in there, and I'll just simmer it up, and we're done. But, and then at the end, I always add cornstarch with water to thicken it up a bit, and you'd be amazed. I mean, after it freezes, you'd think, well, that's not going to work. But if that should happen, I just take a little water and cornstarch to thicken it up after I've taken it out of the freezer. You know, I heat it up to see what consistency it is. And if it's not where I want it to be, I'll just get it to cooking really good and add the water with cornstarch a little bit more, and then cook it for a few minutes. But usually I just take it right out of the bag and put it on whatever I'm going to put it on, you know, and then heat it in the microwave. But sometimes I cook it back up, you know, in a little pan. But yeah, it's a process. But see, I don't want to have to go through that process every time I want green chili, so that's why I make so much at one time. And that way, all I gotta do is heat it up and use it, you know. And of course, I'll eat it the first night when I make it, but around here, you know, I mean, it's just me, and I'm the only one eating it, so I prefer to put it in the freezer and freeze it, and I haven't had a problem. But one thing I'd like to try is tamales. I've never made tamales. I bought the stuff and forgot that I bought it, and it all rotted before I... Not the stuff, just the husks. And the husks, evidently, they got damp or whatever, and they were all moldy. I never seen anything quite like it. But that was Kansas, Missouri. So, I guess if you're going to use it, you're going to use it. So, this is 15. I had to see where I was going here. Well, there's a big old 15 there. And I'm like, well, what the hell? Okay, I guess we'll just do those 6 or 8 right there. But anyway, I did get a couple more Stitch things. I believe they're both Joy Sundays. And I got a couple diamond paintings. So, and I got these all from Amazon because I'm just not messing with AliExpress. I mean, it just irritates the hell out of me every time I think about it. But, and all their crap. I can't figure out why my credit card works just fine at Diamond Art Color and where else? And Amazon. And anything else I need to use my credit card for, but, you know, you go to AliExpress, and I'm like, well, I guess you just don't need my business that bad. So, because it messes up every time and says I don't have money on my card and all this other crap, and I'm over it. I'm really over it. And the hoop you got to jump through, you know, you got to take a picture, and I don't know how to do that. And it's weird. So, just bizarre. I mean, I suppose I could go online maybe and do AliExpress. I don't know. And I don't think I've ordered anything online. You know what I mean? On AliExpress or even Amazon like that. I mean, I just use my computer, because 9 out of 10 trying to figure out where that color is 10 times I'm at home, you know, so I just use the computer. So I don't know, it's irritating at best. See, I told you, I just don't want to talk about it. Because I'd really like to have about $1,500 worth of crap that they got at Mian and Evershine. But you know what? Just okay. Must not need it that bad. So anyway, let's see, what else did I get? I got the I don't know what it's called. We'll call it the standing holder for the scroll frame thing that Gone Off My Meds and Diamond Painting with Susan got, that has the bend arm, and you can attach that big scroll thing. Yeah, no. We'll see how that works, because I'm not real. When I looked it up, I looked to see how much weight it would actually hold. And it said weights and widths and heights were not a problem. I'm like, okay. And I know I read that 3 times, so that we'll see if that works. Hey, we're coming along, guys. We are getting there. Oh, that's attractive. Look at this. Will you look at that? I couldn't figure out why it wouldn't lay down. There's a bead down there. Isn't that special? Oh, God. Some days, we're not going to go there. No, we're not going to go there. I'm using my little, whoops. Oh, yeah, it works so bad. My little thing with my pansy on it. I pre-threaded my needles, because I'm not all about doing this in front of you guys. Oh, yes, and I still have green food coloring. I put green food coloring in my, what do you call it? In my jelly this morning. I like mine green. Some people just don't color it. And I've even seen it done red, so. And they do that. I used to give them away at Christmas. And I'd make them either red or green, but since we have these, and the recipe that I gave you, you could use any kind of peppers you want. So, you know, you could use jalapenos, you can use habaneros if you're really into ghost chilies or whatever. It just says, you know, a cup or whatever of it. I guess. And it turned out just fine. Because, I mean, it'll give you, if you look up jalapeno pepper jelly, it will give you recipes. And I don't follow them to the book, because I just like, I can't tell if that's light or dark. Sorry, guys. I was concentrating, trying to get the needle to come up. I have never mixed them, as far as that goes. I mean, I mix my red and my green peppers. So, I mean, I'm assuming that you can make that out of any kind of pepper you wanted to make it out of. Because it said, you know, you could mix them all together or use this, make them all habanero or whatever. So, I'm like, cool, because I guess it'll all turn out the same. I just prefer the jalapeno and the garlic. And I'm sure there was at least almost close to 2 cups of garlic after I got that all cut up. But, you know, it's not an exacting thing. And your MCP is going to gel up, you know, as far as I know. And if it doesn't, I mean, I would buy two boxes of it. Or 2 things of Certo if you use Certo. But that way, if it doesn't gel up, then, you know, as you're cooking it on that final stage, then just add another box. It ain't gonna hurt it. Not really. I have yet to not have anything turn out like that, so. But it's fun. Now all I can do is smell garlic on my fingers. I meant to, I think somebody said if you took lemon juice, you can either use a real lemon or lemon juice, and you put it all over your hands, it'll take that away. I do know one other trick is after you're done cutting, put your soap on your hands and, you know, scrub it in good. And then if you have a stainless steel faucet, run your hands over the stainless steel faucet part, you know, where the water comes out. Run it back and forth, and it will take the burn from jalapenos, and it'll take the smell of the onions and garlic out of your hands. But it has to be stainless steel for some reason. I don't know. Just one of them things I'm just passing along, guys. Hey, I think we're done with that color. Cool. Moving right along. But I can't believe I sewed a bead to the bottom side. Oh, jeez. No, we're not going to that kind of crap. No, I'm not that good at all. No. Okay, get my thread back. Because I always forget where I'm going to go. See, I needed that green right there. It was a brown, but it was a green. I'll get it. Yeah, but it's on the back side. And if I cut it off, all the other beads are going to fall off. So we're just going to kind of leave it and forget it exists. Yep. Okay, so now I need a different color here. Oh, goodness gracious. So what's everybody else working on? I always like to hear what kind of projects everybody's working on and doing. Because I might want to buy that. No. I don't need anything else. I keep telling myself that. Oh, you see my cheat sheet? It's getting longer. That way I know what color and what the number is, what the bead is. So I need the dark pink, which is number 20. It's a pretty pink. Pretty bright pink. You see that? Isn't that beautiful? It's just gorgeous. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, holy gosh. I'm telling you, yesterday just about did me in. I went to bed by 11 o'clock. I couldn't take no more. I had done way too much yesterday. I was busy pulling weeds, and my hands hurt. Man, I could barely do this last night. So, but we got her done. I don't know what I'm fixing tonight. I did fix a Denver omelet. Of course, I didn't get the green chili out in time and didn't really want to wait either. Oh, come on. Seriously? Get down there. Thank you. Seems like all I do is eat, eat, eat. But not really. It's just, I've gotten into it. I like to cook when the weather is cool. And so you'll see me cooking a lot in the winter and in the fall. But, I don't like to cook when it's hot and hot in the kitchen, and it just makes my house hot, and then I gotta run the air conditioning. It's ugly. So I try not to. I fix a lot of pasta stuff in the summer. I get up or I'll do it at night, you know, when I get home. Cook the pasta and then chill it overnight and make like pasta salad. And I'll have that for about 3 or 4 days. It's not something you can freeze. So, but it's nice in the summer to eat. And I put salami or pepperoni in it. So it has some meat factor. I wouldn't say a great deal, but some meat factor. And I like subsist on salads, and sometimes even in the summertime, if they have a deal on crab, and I use the imitation crab. Yep. What is going on right here? Oh, that must have been some of them that I did wrong. What was I talking about? I will take crab and make crab salad, but I don't make too much of that at a time. I'm just paranoid that way. Some of that crap would make you sick. And it doesn't last. So, I mean, I make it one day, eat it for dinner, and then the next day I'll eat it again. But if I'm going to be off, I'll have it for like lunch, you know, one day and dinner the next or whatever. We don't have a big old set schedule. That's why I can't stay on a schedule on YouTube. I do what I want when I want, you know, if at all possible. And I figure I'm on a schedule when I'm working, so I shouldn't really be on a schedule when I'm on YouTube, because this is something I do for my pleasure. And I like to show people how to do things and that kind of thing, but no, it's just something I like to do, but so I'm not going to make a whole lot of work out of it and be on a time schedule, because my life just ain't like that. So what else do I know? My daughter shut up, and she's like, "Oh, yuck, it stinks." Well, see, she likes the essence of garlic, but when she walked in here, and I had just, what do you call it, put those jalapenos and the garlic through the processor, so it was pretty vivid in here. It still smells like garlic. Of course, I'm close to my hands, so that could probably be the part to it. But yeah, it's pretty potent in here. And she said, "Oh, no wonder it's so spicy." I said, "You want to stay and help?" Nope, she didn't want to stay and help. Okay. Ask her if she wanted to make strawberry jam. Nope, she didn't want to do that either. Oh, come on. What in the heck? Laura is having a heck of a day here. You wouldn't believe this mess we got going on down here. I'm not pulling it hard enough. Sometimes I'm afraid I'm going to pull it. Hopefully that'll straighten out when I rinse it. It's just got a kink in it. So we'll see. Now, I want to ask a question, because, like I said, I haven't done these stamped things for years. When you get it, would you iron it before you started? Or would you just let it naturally, you know, come undone? You know what I mean? And lay flat. This isn't laying too flat, but I've just been folding it back, you know, the way it was folded. Then I work on this section or whatever. You know, when I'm done with it, I fold it, like, fold this part this way and this part this way, you know. But would you iron it? I mean, I know you wouldn't use steam because you don't want the pattern to go away. But I was just kind of about as hesitant of doing that as I was of ironing a, what do you call it, a diamond painting. So, and I didn't know, and so if anybody's got any answers to that one, you know, I can start doing that. Because, and I don't roll this one because it's so small. Oh, yes, you have one bead. You only need one. Thank God, only one. So I didn't know. Because some of them are kind of wrinkled, especially these, the wide ones. And this one was wrinkled for some reason. I don't know if that was due to me or them or whatever. I tried to put this on that frame, and no. I didn't like it at all. We have enough problems. I did take the peacock off the frame, the scroll frame, because it weighed so much, and then I went and decided that I was going to, what do you call it? Order that standing thing. So, I don't know. We'll have to see how that works. All this mess is probably coming. I know the Joy Sundays will be here before the end of the week. Diamond paintings, not so sure. Don't know where they're coming from. I think one is a China Post. And I still haven't gotten the threaders. They're coming from Fuji. I'm like, okay. Let's get rid of that. There's too far to go, so I'm cutting the thread. There we go. Well, it's coming along, guys. Ugh. Well, guys, thanks for joining me today for this quick little stitching time. We're getting there, one little piece at a time. I'm trying to work my way down this way now. And I'll keep working on it a little bit here and a little bit there. But thank you for joining me today. Y'all have a great day. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell so you know when my next video comes out. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. God bless.